I bet you didn't know the full extent of our plastic pollution crisis. From the deepest ocean trenches to the remote Arctic wilderness, plastic waste has infiltrated every corner of our world. Marine animals become entangled in plastic debris or mistake it for food, leading to starvation and death. Birds ingest plastic fragments, which accumulate in their stomachs, creating a false sense of fullness and ultimately leading to their demise. Coastal communities that rely on tourism and fishing are experiencing the direct consequences of plastic pollution as their beaches become littered with debris and their fish stocks decline. The poorest and most vulnerable communities often bear the brunt of this crisis, lacking access to proper waste management systems and suffering the health consequences of living amidst plastic waste. This is not a problem that can be ignored. We must break free from our dependence on single-use plastics and embrace a more sustainable way of life. The time for action is now. Recycling has long been touted as the solution to our plastic problem. While recycling plays an important role, it is not a silver bullet. The reality is that only a small percentage of plastic ever gets recycled. Many types of plastic are not easily recyclable, and even those that are often require specific processes and infrastructure that are not readily available in many parts of the world. The cost of collecting, sorting, and processing plastic waste can be prohibitive, making it economically unviable in some cases. We cannot simply recycle our way out of this crisis. We must address the problem at its source by reducing our reliance on plastic in the first place. The most effective way to combat plastic pollution is to reduce our consumption of plastic and embrace a circular economy that prioritizes reuse. Reducing our plastic footprint starts with making conscious choices in our daily lives. We can opt for reusable alternatives to single-use plastics, such as water bottles, coffee cups, shopping bags, and food containers. We can support businesses that prioritize sustainable packaging and avoid products with excessive plastic wrapping. Reusing items is another powerful way to reduce our plastic consumption. By embracing these principles of reduce and reuse, we can significantly decrease the amount of plastic waste we generate, lessening the burden on our planet and creating a more sustainable future. The devastating impact of plastic pollution is evident across the globe. In the North Pacific Ocean, a massive swirling vortex of plastic debris known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch spans an area twice the size of Texas. This floating mass of plastic poses a significant threat to marine life, entangling and choking animals and leaching harmful chemicals into the water. In Indonesia, plastic waste clogs rivers and canals, leading to flooding and creating a breeding ground for disease-carrying mosquitoes. The country is the second largest contributor to plastic pollution in the world's oceans, highlighting the global scale of the problem. It is estimated that over 8 million tons of plastic enter our oceans each year, the equivalent of dumping a garbage truck full of plastic into the ocean every minute. If current trends continue, there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean by weight by 2050. We can no longer afford to ignore the consequences of our plastic addiction. Addressing the plastic pollution crisis requires a multifaceted approach that goes beyond recycling. Governments must implement policies that discourage the use of single-use plastics, such as bans or levies, and invest in waste management infrastructure. Industries must take responsibility for the entire life cycle of their products, from design to disposal. This includes developing innovative packaging solutions that reduce plastic use, investing in reusable and refillable packaging systems, and taking back and recycling their products. Consumers have a crucial role to play in demanding change and making sustainable choices. By supporting businesses that prioritize sustainability, reducing our own plastic consumption, and advocating for policy changes, we can drive a shift towards a more circular economy. Innovation and research are also crucial in finding solutions to the plastic pollution crisis. The fight against plastic pollution is a shared responsibility. Each and every one of us has a role to play in protecting our planet from this pervasive threat. We must make conscious choices in our daily lives to reduce our plastic consumption, support businesses that prioritize sustainability, and advocate for policy changes that address the root causes of this crisis. We must remember that our individual actions, however small they may seem, have a collective impact. By making conscious choices and working together, we can create a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable future for ourselves and generations to come. Let us act now with urgency and determination to stem the tide of plastic pollution and preserve the beauty and integrity of our planet.